Let's talk a little bit about these drones. What's going on in New Jersey? Let's talk about foreign policy things. Climate change activism. Are they done now that Donald Trump is coming in? All that and more coming up on I'm Right. These drones. What's going on in New Jersey right now with these drones? Well, allow me to go ahead and spoil the ending for you here. I don't know. And you don't know. And there's a chance we will never know. And that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to drones, information, news, domestic, foreign affairs. Remember, I mean, we've had this conversation a million times on this show. It happened all the time during COVID, during Trump's presidency. The talk about institutional trust and how critical for a country institutional trust is. Because any country, even a tiny village, but we'll make it about our country, a country is going to have institutions. A country is going to be built on its institutions. It just is. It's going to have educational institutions, religious institutions, media institutions, just entertainment institutions. Institutions are the pillars that hold up a country. And they're critical because the people in any country, they need to know where they can go to get accurate information. Because I'm just a person. You're just a person. We can't see overseas. I don't know what's going on in France, Iran, and the Atlantic Ocean. I can't see Hawaii. I'm sitting here in Texas. I need to know what's happening. So how can I know? How can you know? I have to have an institution I trust where I can go and get that information. But what happened here in the United States of America was the communists did what they've always done, what the Italian communist Antonio Gramsci talked about decades ago. They marched through the institutions. They recognized that, you can focus on the people, and that's fine, but if you capture the institutions, you capture the country. And they spent decades doing that in this country. We woke up one day, it seems like it was 5 minutes ago, we woke up one day and, wait a minute, the CDC is against us? What happened? The CDC? What? You can't turn on the news without getting all the commie garbage. The FBI is against us. CIA, NSA, the United States military. We lost all these institutions. We woke up one day and they were all gone. The commies had not only taken them over, the commies had done what they do. They then use the institutional trust to advance themselves and destroy their enemies. That's what communists do with institutions. But there's a negative for them as well. You see, institutional trust does not last forever. Institutional trust can be lost very easily, and once lost, very hard to get back. Oh, you're a communist. You had a grand old time taking over the FBI, and now you use the secret state police agency to arrest and attack all your political opponents and protect yourselves. That's fun. Oh, it's a good time. But now you see the numbers. The American people, they don't take any stock in the FBI at all, especially people on the right. The FBI is thought of as vermin, which of course they are, not trusted. You talk to your cousin who's in the FBI now, it's no longer a, whoa, that's pretty cool. Now it's a, oh, that sucks. It's what happens. And it's happened across our national security sector as well. We have these stories, they're obviously very real, about drones on our East Coast. Drones. And not just drones, we're not talking about a little bite-sized drone that's maybe hovering over the backyard while you're sunbathing by your pool. These drones, this is a New Jersey rep, Chris Smith is his name, these drones appear to be aggressive.
One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Then last night we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them.
That's not a small deal. Why are drone swarms, 12 to 30 is not one, why are they following the Coast Guard? What are they doing here? Well, Representative Van Drew, New Jersey Republican, he does not have a reputation of bomb throwing, of just trying to get his face and name in the newspaper. You hardly have ever heard the guy's name. Maybe you've never heard the guy's name. So this is not some guy who's out there making a used car salesman idiot of himself. He's on the news talking about Iran and a mothership.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward.
That's kind of a big deal, especially when you take this into account. Remember when Donald Trump was president the very first time, and we assassinated their general, Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. We assassinated him with a missile that has swords. I'm not making that up. We have this missile, and instead of exploding, because they're worried about collateral damage, right before it lands, a bunch of swords come out of it, and then it lands and just chops up. That's how we killed Qasem Soleimani. It's really cool. Anyway, we killed one of their top generals, and Iran has not let this go. In fact, Iran has been fairly open about the fact they intend to kill Donald Trump. Okay, so I don't know whether it was Iran or not, but it certainly could be. What if it is? What if it's not? And of course, the Defense Department is asked about this when you have a congressman coming out and saying these are drones from an Iranian mothership, Iran, a country that's a hostile actor trying to assassinate our politicians. DOD is going to be asked questions about it. And of course, DOD says, well, that's crazy.
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Okay. I don't believe her. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. You don't know. And there's a reason I'm not coming on the air and speaking about, it's Iran or it's China or it's Russia or it's America, it's the CIA, it's the Pentagon, because I don't know and nobody knows. And that, to circle back to what we talked about in the beginning, that is the danger of living in a country where your institutions have taken all of our trust and thrown it all away. Who in the world would you trust right now? Maybe it's our government. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're doing evil things. They do evil things all the time. I'm supposed to believe the Pentagon that's failed an audit 7 years in a row? Come on. I'm supposed to believe the CIA, NSA? Come on. FBI? You expect me to believe the same organization that spent the last 7 years entrapping January 6 political prisoners and throwing pro-lifers in federal prison? You expect me to believe anything that comes out of their mouth? I don't believe anybody. I have no idea why we have SUV-sized drones swarming Coast Guard boats and flying over New Jersey. It could be some kid who had a good time at Radio Shack. I don't know, and you don't know. And that is a sad situation for our country. And let's hope the incoming Trump administration intends to get that trust back. And there's only one way to get that trust back. There's not a second way. Open the books. Be open, be honest about the evil things our organizations, our institutions have done, expose them, hold people to account, and then that trust will return. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're gonna start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.